To me, the Great Commission is a directive to actually act. When I think of the Great Commission, I think of the benediction that's given at the end of church at every service, where we are directed to go
out into the land that we are supposed to go, and it says to make disciples and let people know that they are free in Christ and free to be able to actually live as Christ did, which I think a lot of that has to do with justice. A lot of that has to do with breaking structures that are in place.
Make disciples of people of all the nations, from all backgrounds, all races, all sexualities, all colors, all creeds, to make disciples in every nation. It says God has all the power in heaven and earth. And to me that means that He will give or has given us everything that we need to
go out and spread that good news. Spread the good news to people that are hurting, to families that are hurting, to poor people, people that have been forgotten, and to share their testimonies on how God delivered them from wherever they were and the joy that they are experiencing now.
The commission is not about staying, it's not about stagnation, it's not even about being the same, but the commission is to go into the world, to go into our communities. And you know, sometimes one of the things I think that we miss is that the commission is local as well as it is global.
Go out into the world and let others know that there is freedom, there is liberty, but that we are also responsible for our brother. I am my brother's keeper. I always think that there are so many nations out there that, well, I won't say nations, but there are many people out there that don't know about Christ and don't know about His power, His name, His healing blood. They just don't know what Christ has to offer.
Just touching one person in your everyday life, speaking and encouraging into their lives, and just praying for them and asking God to bless them to be able to touch somebody else's life. And before you know it, it'll be a domino effect, and you have millions and millions of people affected by what you started.
To go out and do as we are told to do, which is to reach out to people in every community, at every age range, to break outside of our norms.
It's really about from our doorsteps to the ends of the earth, like the disciples say. I think it's so important that we understand that we don't just have global mission, but that we have local mission. When I think about the Great Commission, I think about this idea that we are to teach. And I think about so much how much Jesus taught, and that so much of making disciples and so much of growing ministries is about teaching people, being with people, having relationships with people, and helping them grow and understand the teachings and the work that is required of a disciple of Jesus. And so it's not about staying, it's about going, it's about movement. When you hear the word commission, I think partnership with God, that the Spirit is already on the move, that the Spirit is already ahead of us, and that in Christian community, we're trying to catch up with the Spirit. We're trying to figure out what God is already doing in our community, in our world, and that we're to partner with God, that we're to cooperate with God in what God is doing.
Can't imagine how it could be if I let you lead the way.